Hello and welcome back to the channel, The Design Den. So today we are focusing on an area of my little dingy apartment that I told you all about. The hallway slash entryway. As you can see, this is the hallway area. Take you a little tour. Hallway area. And this is the area that we want to focus on. This is the area for us to focus on right now in our dingy, dirty apartment. Excuse the mess in the background, guys. We are focusing on the hallway. We have done the living room. That was in a previous video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So now let's focus on the hallway, and we are going to tie everything in together. I know for me personally, living in an apartment, things get old, things get worn, things look dingy after a while. So it's so important that you upgrade your apartment the best that you can, to the best of your ability. A coat of paint, some spackling, just rearranging some furniture, using what you already have can make a significant difference. Stay with me all the way to the end. Now let's get started. Okay, first things first, guys. You know, when you are fixing an old apartment, you know, there are sure to be imperfections. Here I am again using the dry decks that I had left over from the previous video. Again, when you are fixing an apartment, sometimes you have old photos that you may have hung, or pictures or artwork. And you really need to go in and do your best to try to cover and fill those holes the best of your ability. Here I am again, just using a spackling knife, trying to cover all of the holes in the hallway so that we can have a smooth wall, basically. Again, these walls were tore up from the floor up when I moved in here. A bunch of dents and dings, like it's really no getting around it. The landlord did a piss poor job at sanding the wall, so we're just going to do our best to try to fill in the holes the best that we can, get them sanded as smooth as we possibly can, and then go from there. Okay guys, so we have officially got all of our spackle up on the walls. Now we are going to let it dry so that we can do the sanding process, get some paint up on the walls, and then start the designing process. Stick with me all the way to the end because I got a surprise for you in the end. The transformation is going to be amazing. Here I am again, once again, y'all. Using that same sanding block that I bought from the Dollar Tree from a previous video. When I tell you these things go a long way, they go a long way. For $1.25, listen, I'm not a professional. I just do what I do, use what I can to make the best out of what I have. And with these sanding blocks with the hand function, the little piece that you see me holding, you could take that block out and flip it over on the other side and use the other side just as well. So it's multifunctional and it has a dual purpose. You can use both sides with the handle, which really makes it easier to maneuver. You ain't gotta worry about holding it and it falling out your hand and jumping out your hand, because sometimes you be sanding something and that block just seem to jump right out your hand. But here I am again, just sanding the wall, trying to get it as smooth as I possibly can. Again, the wall already has so many imperfections that really need a professional, like a professional sander. But I'm not doing all that. This is a rental apartment, y'all. It was like that when I moved in. I'm just trying to cover up the holes that I made so that we can put this paint on these walls and get these walls as smooth as I possibly can. And yes, I am looking like Ain't Your Mama on the pancake box. And girl, it was hot. Even with the air on, it was still hot as heck. So I'm going to keep doing what I do and keep moving around. Here you see me rotating the camera, just trying to get some of those really hard spots, like the real bad imperfections on the wall. This part of the wall really needed to be sanded with a professional sander, y'all, which I didn't have one. So again, if you don't have a professional sander, y'all, just use what you have. We got to make the best out of what we have. You know, sometimes the resources and the finances are just not there to buy everything that you need, but you just do what you can and make the best out of what you already have. Y'all, I'm telling you, after going through COVID-19, I learned how to reuse my resources. Listen, I'm going to use everything that I got and not worry about the rest. As long as the final result comes out the way I like it, that's all that matters. Once again, guys, this is leftover paint from the laundry room project. And again, I'm not wasting nothing. Use all your resources. All you need is a simple stir. Stir that paint up. Try to get it back smooth and creamy like it was. And then just move on from there. Don't be in a rush to run out and buy products when you already have stuff that you can use. And yes, I got this little handy dandy trick from one of my friends, my neighbors. He told me if you put a trash bag over the paint pan, you can preserve the paint pan so that you can use it over and over again. So that's what I did. That's all you see me doing right now is rubbing some paint on these walls. Again, we are keeping it neutral and keeping it cute, guys, because when I move, I do not want to have to repaint this apartment all over. So using colors and different things, even though as much as I love color, it's just not an option for me right now because I don't have the strength, time, nor energy to paint this apartment back when it's time for me to leave. Okay guys, so we have officially finished painting the hallway, the doors, everything is pretty much painted. We're gonna let this paint dry and then we'll start the decorating process, so just stay tuned. Okay guys, so I bought this plant pot from Home Goods, used it in a previous video. But I wanted to switch things up a little bit and change up the vibe, and the gray just was not going with the aesthetic that I was trying to create. So I decided to do what I usually do, my usual schmusual. Get a can of spray paint. Y'all, designing does not have to cost you an arm and a leg. You don't have to break the bank. A simple can of $5, $6, $7 spray paint will get the job done. And you can use it in future projects. If you don't like how the color is, paint it again. You just keep painting it until you get the desired effect that you want. But as for me, I wanted to change up the vibe a little bit. I wanted to change this particular plant pot because I'm going to use it in the hallway, and the color was just throwing me off a little bit. So I decided to just go on ahead and spray paint it, get it over and done with. And it was hot as fish grease outside, y'all. I'm telling you. So it didn't take long for this paint to dry at all. Now look at this pot, y'all. It's starting to transform. It is coming alive. We went from the gray and now we are spray painting it black. And y'all, don't come for me in the comments about my little cheap little $3 can of spray paint. I had to use the resources that I had to make it do what it do. Whether it's $3, whether it's $5, whether it's $10. I know all spray paint cans are not created equal. So I just had to pace myself, take my time, and just do a little bit at a time, a little step at a time. But the finished result turned out to be just perfect. It was exactly what I wanted, exactly how I needed it to be. No complaints here. And I did this again with a $3 can of spray paint. Well, actually, I needed two $3 cans of spray paint that I got from Lowe's, I believe. Yeah, cheap and inexpensive. All right, guys, now that we have all of the necessary things that we need to make this transformation happen, stay with me all the way to the end. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video for tips on how to transform your dingy apartment into something amazing. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, now that we got everything we need, we did the painting, we did the sanding, we did the sweeping up the mess. Now, y'all, I'm just going in here and mopping up the area real good. Again, we want this space to come together and tie all in. So let's just finish out strong. Let's go on ahead and get these floors mopped so that it'll create a great space for me to lay the rugs. And plus I want to tape down the rugs, so if the floor is nice and clean, it helps the floor tape to stick better so that the rugs don't move. So here you just see me mopping the floor, getting that space together. Again, it don't hurt to mop, y'all. Okay, so I had to switch things up a bit. I was soaking wet, so I had to change my clothes again, y'all. Charge it to my head and not my heart. But here I am. This is a sofa table. Got it from American Signature. I'll leave a link in the description box below. When I tell y'all I moved and downsized from my house, so I had to use my resources. Oh, that's my fur baby. I had to use the resources that I had. So from time to time, I switch things around. And yes, this table is on casters, so it's easy to slide, it's easy to move. Casters meaning that it's just on wheels, so it makes it easier for me to be able to maneuver this table around. But again, y'all, I use what I had. I did not go out and purchase nothing new as far as furniture wise, maybe just a few accessories. But as far as furniture, I took the sofa table from behind the sofa because I just wanted to switch things up and just get an idea or try to see how it would look in the hallway and use all of the resources and the tools that I had before I decided to go out, pull the trigger, and buy something or waste money on something that I really didn't need. So here's what the sofa table looks like in the hallway. It looked amazing, guys. It really came together for me. It was just the right space, it was just the right height, and it was just long enough to capture that space the way I really needed it to. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start the prep work, getting this table ready so that we can decorate this table and move on to the next phase, wrap this video up, and show you the final reveal. I bought these bar stools from Burlington Coat Factory a long time ago, y'all. I believe they were only $24.99. I used them in a previous project, the living room reveal. If you get a chance, go watch that video. But again, these things are multi-purpose. You do not have to throw them away. You do not have to run out and buy something new to keep up with the latest design trend, because an interior designer comes on these channels and tell you, oh, this is in and this is out. Use the resources that you already have. I purchased 2 of these bar stools, so that's what we're using today. I am going to attempt to redecorate this hallway using things that I already have, bring this reveal all the way home to the finish line by just using the stuff that I already got. Like I said, y'all, multitask, reuse, repurpose. Take stuff from one room and put it in another room and see how it works for you. This is what the stools look like once I put them underneath the table. Not bad. Yes, the planter was a little heavy, y'all, but I struggled, but I got it up them steps because I live on the 2nd floor. The planter turned out to be perfect, and yes, don't come for me in the comments. It was hot, I was sweating, and yes, menopause ain't no joke. But this is just an idea what the planter looked like. And now, y'all, quick design tip. I was not filling that planter with 10,000 pounds of dirt. What I did to bring height and elevation to the plant, I just stuck another plant pot down inside of it. So now when I add the plant, it'll give it height. And I won't have to worry about in the future, if I do need to move and relocate, trying to move that planter with a whole bunch of dirt in it, because that'll make it extremely heavy. So again, I just stuck an old plant pot that I had down inside of it, and just watch how much elevation and height it gives the plant. See that, guys? That's what I'm talking about. Design tricks. Yes. And move your plants away from the wall. They don't have to be touching the wall and kissing the wall. Do what you can. Oh, y'all see my lilies? They growing. Yes, my plant is planting. But yes, I love how the plant looks in this space at the top of the stairwell. It came together nicely, and by adding that plant pot, we added height and depth to the planter and that space, tying it all in. Y'all, when I say I use what I have, I repurpose everything from one room to another room. I got these vessels from, I believe it was HomeSense. They were real inexpensive. I believe maybe $34.95. I've had them for quite some time, so don't quote me on the price. But if you get the opportunity, go to HomeSense. They have some amazing finds. And this is just some eucalyptus that I'm adding to the vase because I just love how it smells, especially dry eucalyptus, y'all. It smells so good. And, it brings that plant life or, flowering to your space. It's real inexpensive. I believe that I got it from Burlington Co Factory. Maybe it was $8.99 a pack, and I got two. So again, use your resources, guys. Stuff don't have to cost that much. I got this picture from Burlington Co Factory. It was not expensive and it tied right into my black and white theme that I was going for. Now, here we go with this area. It's a small space, but it has a huge impact. I got this rug. I believe it was only $19.99 from Burlington Co Factory. Y'all, it was just the right rug that I needed for the space. Again, y'all, it don't cost a whole lot to decorate. It just takes time and patience. And yes, you have to get out in these stores, walk around, see what is going to work best in your space. And that can be a little time consuming, but I promise you, if you just stick with it, have a little bit of patience, what we call pack your patience. Here, I'm showing y'all that I literally only paid $19.99 for this rug. When I say I count my coins, I do not be playing around with my money. So it's very important for me to make a high impact on a small space. Here I am showing you the double-sided tape. Remember previously I mopped the floor, and this is what I'm referring to when I say you want your tape to stick. So you want to make sure that area is clean so that when you put the tape on the rug, it adheres well. Now, this rug was just the right size that I needed for this space. So it all came together. I was able to tape this rug down so that it's not moving all over the place. If you have pets and animals like I do, my fur babies love to run in this hallway and just slide all over the floor. And sometimes with them doing that, it moves the rug all over the place. So by taping it down, it keeps you from tripping over it, falling over it. It just secures the rug, keeps it in place. That way you don't have to keep worrying about moving it every 5 seconds or if somebody walks on it. Yes, while I was in Burlington, I did pick up this beautiful decorative throw. It was only $12.99. When I tell y'all can't beat these prices out here. You just have to get out here and look. Designing does not have to break the bank. All you have to do is just look for items that you know will complement the space. Now work with me here because I got a little treat for what I'm going to put over here on this little tiny behind wall. But I felt like the wall needed some texture, some depth to it. So here we are, guys. Here we are with what I came up with for my hallway design. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. This is just a small preview of what I came up with for my hallway.